The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the producers and the individuals appearing on this program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff of the Sun Prairie Media Center, its members or underwriters, the board members of the Media Center Commission, Charter Communications, TDS Telecom, or the staff and elected officials of the City of Sun Prairie.
And welcome to Real Reviews. My name is Jamison Rabbitt. The man seated next to me, I just learned, as a toddler, was an extra in the movie The Deer Hunter. His name is Mike Roth.
I was. I don't remember the part. I'm pretty sure someone took all my money.
Yeah. Fleeced me out of my money.
Was that still on my Wikipedia page?
Yeah, it's on there. Wow. That's right as we were about to start. I was scrolling through. I was like, no kidding.
You know, there has to be.
You were in the Russian roulette scene, is what it said.
As a toddler.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't remember it. I don't remember nothing.
Traumatized. All right, folks. So this week on the marquee, we have 3 movies to talk about, as well as a fun throwback movie. And I'm going to get us started first with on the marquee with the film that I saw. It's in theaters right now. Saw it at the Film Fest and have kind of been holding on to it. And it is a documentary called RBG, about the life and times of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. It's directed by Julie Cohen. It is a very loving homage to Justice Ginsburg, who is now 84 years old and going strong. And it is it alternates kind of between her early years fighting to gain equality and acceptance for herself as she tried to get into prestigious law schools and was really marginalized because she's a woman. What are you doing? Shouldn't your husband be doing this, young lady? And kind of alternating back and forth between that and her current kind of pop culture phenomenon that Justice Ginsburg has become. And it is kind of broken up into chapters of her fight for gender equality. And she's kind of misunderstood by some people who think she just fought for women's rights. One of her biggest cases was fighting for a widower's rights because his wife had passed away, and she wanted equality is equality. And so as a young lawyer, she took 6 cases to the Supreme Court. In fact, in one case in the 70s, she spent a good chunk of her time just explaining to the Supreme Court justices what inequality really is and why, a bunch of old white guys might not be able to understand what inequality is. She won 5 of those 6 cases. Really landmark cases, and then shows, like, as she's become a Supreme Court justice, how she's been a kind of a rock on that Supreme Court. And it also, the film shows the sillier side of her. I mean, she's, this tiny old grandma now, and it shows her, like there's the memes of the notorious RBG and her, like, in the Biggie pose. Yeah. She has shirts of these she hands out to other people. She thinks it's hilarious. It shows her, like, working out with these, like 5-pound barbells, and she wears this shirt that says Super Diva on it. She's in on the joke. She watches the SNL episodes where Kate McKinnon plays her, and she cracks up. She's like, yeah, this is fun. This is great. Yeah. And then, she's also a very loving, doting grandmother. She has a granddaughter who's going through law school right now. Kind of shows her that side of it. And her husband, Marty, who was just kind of a rock for her, supporting her the entire time, kind of took the back seat to her in a time where that really wasn't looked fondly upon for the husband to kind of take the back seat. But he supported her the whole time. And it was a really interesting documentary. The one thing about it, though, is because it is very much an homage to her, it's a very one-sided documentary. The documentary is all, isn't she great? We should canonize her. Yeah. When's she going to become? A saint? Yeah. And there is other sides. There's other points of view. Yeah. And those aren't addressed. No. But it's fun, and they have, like, unfettered access to her. She's just interviewing like crazy. She's having fun with it, telling her story. And you know, she's in her mid 80s. I mean, who knows how much longer she's around? This felt like a really sweet kind of look back on the career of a very important woman in our justice system.
You know, it's really cool when people do things like this before they pass away.
Yeah.
I mean, why wait until they're gone and they can't
Right.
appreciate how we appreciate them?
And to get their perspective
Yeah.
on things instead of going, you know, well, friends and family say.
Yeah.
You know, it's coming out of her mouth. And so it's an enjoyable documentary. I think it's pretty straightforward. Like there's no big twists or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty much her story told in chapters of her life. But it's enjoyable, and she's a lot of fun. And so I give it 4 stars out of 5 right now. It's in theaters right now, so you can go check it out. It's finally coming around.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Extremely cool.
Absolutely. What do you have for us, sir?
I have Life of the Party.
Ooh,
This
that's
is
a story about me.
Melissa McCarthy's new movie that her husband directed and helped write with her to make this movie. What we have is a going back to school situation where after a kind of a messy divorce, Melissa, she plays Deanna, she goes back to college to finish her archaeology degree. The big twist is her daughter goes to the same college.
Oh boy, that's gotta be fun.
Well, yeah, and that's pretty much it for conflict. This movie is all about how everybody loves Melissa McCarthy's character. She plays this Midwestern housewife who does a total attitude change and enjoys the college life. And that is it. For the most part, second part of this movie, it's just about her playing a role that she pretty much has played many, many, many times already. But in this movie, I think she did, for the second part of this movie, extremely well. The jokes were funny. It's something that she really doesn't have to go out of the box to kind of do. It's bookended by 2 terrible parts. The first act and the third act were bad. The jokes felt forced and came out of nowhere, but the middle part was very enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little worried right away because, you know, she is again, for like it feels like the 53rd movie in a row, she plays the Midwestern mom who wears the bedazzled kitten sweaters. You're like, okay, I've seen this. And like 5 minutes in, she's already falling down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, here we go.
Yep.
I've seen this play out. She's got to fall down right away. But then her character kind of shifted. You know, she's the smothering mother, and she's going to school with her daughter, and she befriends her daughter's friends, which is kind of awkward and weird for a moment.
The actress Gillian
Jacobs.
Yeah. Her character really was bad. In the beginning,
I loved her.
Really?
Character. She was my favorite part of this movie.
See,
the coma girl.
See, in the beginning, I thought she had an attitude. She acted in a way where I thought, oh yeah, she's going to turn. She's the bad girl. But really, it was just her acting skills that made it seem like she was.
I mean, we've
off-putting.
seen her in college. It feels like for about 15 years. I mean, she was on Community for her play. She's back in college again, and we explain why the other older girl, like we all know that Gillian Jacobs is 30.
Yeah.
What are you doing in college? I've been in a coma for 7 years. Okay.
All right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I liked a lot of the background characters more than pretty much anything else in the movie. I love Gillian Jacobs. I can't take my eyes off of her acting. I love Melissa McCarthy's best friend, played by Maya Rudolph.
Yep.
She had the most consistent laughs for me in this movie. Just everything with her made me laugh.
What did you think of Stephen Root?
I love Stephen Root.
Okay.
I love him.
I thought his character was way over the top.
Yeah. But I mean, he has 4 minutes of screen time. You know, I mean, he's neither him and Julie Weaver they're just barely in the movie as the parents.
Yeah.
But all of the friends, all of her daughter Maddie's friends, kind of the weird girl who just wants to fit in, you know, a little overweight, gets rashes when she puts on a mask.
Yeah.
It's like, I just want to do it. I just want to hang out with you guys. Her roommate. You know, Melissa McCarthy in a dorm.
Yeah.
She's got a creepy goth roommate, Leonore, played by Heidi Gardner from SNL.
Was it Leonore or Leonore?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So I liked all of these characters, the background characters, quite a bit. And you have a Mean Girls situation in here with Debbie Ryan playing the mean girl in college who's making fun of her and may or may not get her comeuppance. I like those moments. And as far as movies that Ben Falcone has done with Melissa McCarthy, this is, I think, one of the better ones.
Yeah.
It at least gave her something to do other than fall down in a cake.
Well, the other ones were pretty bad.
Well, they were.
There weren't a high bar to try to achieve.
Now, we also have her, falling in love with a high school or a college kid.
Yeah, and that was
Jack.
funny.
She's falling in love with him. There's a great twist,
Which ended
with
up-
Jack's character.
Which was hilarious.
There's some fun moments in here. Now, but there's also some ridiculous stuff. There's an over-the-top scene in the classroom trying to give her oral report that felt like it went on for just forever to me.
I actually like that.
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh my God! It
'cause
felt like it could have been cut 2 minutes earlier.
People have anxiety, and to watch her go through that pressure, of course, it felt like that anxiety came out of nowhere because she's comfortable in everything
Any other
else
situation.
except for this situation, and then it was over the top. But I enjoyed watching that little shtick. Yeah.
Now, there's also, there's every trope that you would have in one of these movies in here. You have there's a dance-off. There's a suddenly stoned scenario, a surprise stoned scenario. There's a big makeover transformation. We got to have one of those where we take the glasses off of her and tuss her hair.
Oh my gosh,
she's
beautiful.
gorgeous. And then, of course, there's we need to raise money to save the fill in the blank situation. We need to save this. So we have to throw a big party to raise enough money. It's every college and high school movie.
I noticed one thing that was missing.
Yeah.
The Angry Dean. Where was the Angry Dean? There was no Angry Dean.
Yes, absolutely. You're absolutely right. That's the one thing missing from all of these PCU type movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually more pleasantly surprised than I thought it would be with this movie. I was expecting some really bad stuff.
Yeah.
I found myself actually laughing through parts of this movie.
Yeah.
It's uneven.
It is. The second act is really where it really shines for me. The bookends, I thought were bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you ultimately end up giving Life of the Party?
Gave it a 2.5. If you like Melissa McCarthy shtick, you're obviously going to love this movie. Everybody else, I think it's just kind of average.
Yeah, and I don't love Melissa McCarthy's shtick, but I like this one better than. It's probably up there with Spy. I remember Spy being the one that I really enjoyed, and I've actually watched that last weekend.
Yeah.
It was on TV, and I watched it. But I like that they gave her something different to do in this movie. And like I said, I found Maya Rudolph and Gillian Jacobs pretty funny in this movie to me. I give it 3 out of 5 stars. Just a tick above average, which is a big win.
That is a big win.
I'm watching it going, I can see myself rewatching this at some point. It wouldn't seem painful.
It'd be something I would like to pick up in the middle.
Yeah.
If I watch someone else watch it, I'm going to sit down. All right, now I'm going to go do something else.
I like that. Pick it up in the middle. The last movie we have on the marquee this week is a movie called Breaking In from director James McTeague, starring Gabrielle Union as a lady named Sean. Sean is her father was a white-collar dirtbag who was recently murdered. He was, I don't know, there was exposition in the beginning on the radio about him, embezzling money, something, screwing a corporation, whatever. He was murdered. She and the kids go up to a remote fictional Wisconsin town to go back home to the palatial estate that her father lived on to get it ready to sell. And this place is a fortress. It has motion detectors, cameras, unbreakable glass. It is a true fortress. While she's there, it's just her and the kids. You see it right there. Somebody snatches the kids. And,
it was Moby.
Yeah, that's what I thought immediately. This guy. But the kids are snatched inside the house. She is outside the house with another bad guy, and she can't get in because it is a fortress. And now she's trying to break in herself. See how they switch? You assume somebody's trying to break into the house to get her. She's got to break in. What a twist. So anyways, she's trying to get in to get her kids. The bad guys are after the safe that is in the house that has a ton of money in it, and they just want to know, and they're using her kids against her because, Mama Bear is going to do whatever it takes. So as long as we have the kids as leverage, we're all good. Immediately, we have Gabrielle Union. As soon as bad things happen, she's running into the woods. She's tripping and falling. We're going through the usual shtick of what happens when there's bad guys. And they introduce a ticking clock into this. We have 90 minutes before the cops get here because we cut the phone lines. so the security system's going to call the cops, and they'll be here in 90 minutes. And then that's kind of quickly discarded. Like, they bring it up a couple of times, like, we have 30 minutes left. But it goes from day to night in this whole time during the movie. Yeah, I think it's been more than 90 minutes. We forgot about it. But it's basically she's got to save her kids by any means necessary. And will she do it? Will she get in and save them? Well, you watch the trailers, you might find out. But what do you think of Breaking In, sir?
This was a bad movie, but for some reason it kept me entertained throughout the whole thing. One of the points that I thought was pretty awful were the bad guys. You had one guy who really wanted to be Billy Bob Thornton. You had another guy who was a stereotype of a Mexican gang lord,
I call him Dollar Store Theo Rossi. Theo Rossi from Sons of Anarchy, who looks just like him.
Yeah.
And is been a bad guy in other things. This guy was the generic brand version.
I can't figure out the person who was in charge of hiring actors, why they thought every single bad guy should look like someone that wouldn't know another person. You got Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
You have Billy Bob Thornton knockoff.
Yeah.
You have this other guy that definitely didn't look like he would belong in this group at all.
Yeah.
He kind of acts like Billy Bob Thornton from Sling Blade.
Yeah, sure.
You had Moby, who was running around outside. And I'm like, where did these guys all find each other? Where do they all hang out? Where
Doing
a
3 to
eclectic
5
group
in
like
county
this,
prison, man.
and then you had some weird things like, well, the guy who could break the safe, he can't do it. And then the guy who probably the dumbest one out of the whole group, he's like, oh, let me figure this one out. I'll show you. These bad guys were terrible, but also eclectic. I could easily pick them out. They didn't blend together at all. Right. So, it made
That's true. You were never like, I wonder which guy that is walking in the darkness. You could tell them out right away.
Yeah, they were all completely different and all really bad at their jobs.
The worst part about these bad guys to me was that the dialogue between them felt like it was like they were reading, like they just took pages from Melrose Place and gave it to these guys to read his dialogue. And it's just like all this weird drama between them.
Yeah.
And just like, what are we doing? I don't get it.
But for some reason, I was really interested in how this ended, and I can't put my finger on it. Why did I want to stay till the end on this? So
I don't know.
Tell me.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
It's really a cookie cutter plot. I mean, really, they don't go beyond anything. There's no twist. It's exactly what you see in the trailers.
Yeah, they show you the movie.
But I wanted to see this all the way through.
I enjoyed Gabrielle Union. It's nice to see her getting some real work here. It feels like she's been in a lot of just ensemble casts where she's just the friend or the neighbor or whatever. And so I enjoyed seeing her in there. The girl that casts as her daughter could not have looked more like her. Yeah. I actually had to look it up and see, is that her real daughter in this movie? No, but it looks just like her. So I like that. The bad guys, I did not have the adoration for the bad guys that you did.
You know what? If you're going to ever remember this movie, it's going to be because of those bad guys.
Oh,
really?
I don't know that
They're
I'll
bad.
remember.
They're terrible.
I see this movie being one of those that next January, when I'm looking back at my list and trying to rank movies, I have to look this one up, like Breaking In. What was that? Oh, that's right.
Justin Bieber, the guy from
now
Sling
I
Blade.
remember.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to read a synopsis first. I'm going to have to go on an IMDb page to remember, because it's just like the ticking clock. I think this movie's going to be quickly forgotten.
I don't think I will. I don't know why. And really, my score is kind of confusing because there's nothing I could say that's great about it, but I wanted to see it all the way to the end.
You wanted this to be a 3-hour movie.
I probably could have handled it. I don't know. I really don't know.
Someone needs to go back in and out of that house 4 more times for you.
Yeah.
Okay, we're out, we're in. We're out, we're in.
And through the whole movie, I'm like, well, that wouldn't support her weight. That's not going to happen.
Everyone's like a ninja in this movie, too.
Yeah.
Everyone's sneaking up on everyone in this movie.
Yeah, everybody's
just showing up behind them.
Gabrielle Union, she was pretty much, she could have been Avenger.
She was like Catwoman.
Yeah.
Just showing up, popping down.
Yeah. Kids crawling in the walls.
Oh, you know it's as soon as they looked up, I'm like, someone's crawling through a ductwork at some point in this movie.
And again, not really shocking. I mean, that happens a lot in movies. I don't know.
It infuriated me when there's bad guys 10 feet away in the next room, and you have 2 characters who are trying to hide from them, carrying on full conversations. like at one point Gabrielle Union is giving her daughter like a whole speech about life
Uh-huh.
as they're trying to hide from the bad guy with the gun is coming around the corner. It's like, don't say a word. Shh. Now listen to me. Going forward in your life, let me tell you everything I love about you. Come on, stop it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to remember this movie. I will.
All right, fair enough. So what is your memorable score for this movie?
This was perplexing. I gave it a 2.5.
That's
I
the least
realized,
memorable score.
Well, see, the thing is I kind of enjoyed this, but I have no reason why.
Okay.
None at all. So I gave it a mediocre 2.5 because really, it's not a good movie, but I kind of liked it.
It's neither good nor bad, but it's super memorable.
I don't know.
I love it. I was just a tick under you. I gave it 2 stars.
All right.
Yeah, I like Gabrielle Union, but I did not like the bad guys.
No.
But it's not terrible.
No, I'm actually questioning myself about this movie,
That's
and
good.
for some
That's
reason
good.
I
I want you to look in the mirror and talk to yourself about this.
I don't know.
All right, sir. Let's look at a throwback, and I think we're gonna throw back off of Life of the Party this week,
Yeah.
all the way back to 1986. Movie directed by Alan Metter. The movie is Back to School.
Good build-up.
Yeah, Back to School, shot right here in Madison. Part of the movie shot on the UW campus.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I'm always get excited when something gets made here in
Yeah,
Wisconsin.
yeah.
Off subject, Bloodhook is for sale right now for $22.
Well, there you go.
There we go. If you want another Wisconsin movie, but let's talk about this one.
Guys pimping movies. This one stars Rodney Dangerfield as Thornton Mellon. His son, Keith Gordon, is his son, Jason. And Jason's having a rough time at college, wants to drop out, and Thornton Mellon is a master of business. And he says, I'll be damned if you're dropping out. In fact, I'm going to school with you to make life easier. Things are going to be great if the old man's here with you.
Just get a little respect.
Hey, I'm telling you. Hey. And so Rodney Dangerfield goes to school. He's got his bodyguard driver, every tough guy, Burt Young, with him.
Uh-huh.
And he just Rodney's out.
Yep.
He's full on Rodney in this movie. Of course, he somehow seduces one of the professors, played by Sally Kellerman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what she sees in him.
That's Rodney. He's got a lot of flavor.
We also have a young Robert Downey Jr. in here as one of
really
Jason's
young.
friends. William Zabka, classic 80s bully, who is got a starring turn, by the way, in Cobra Kai. I can't tell you enough to watch Cobra Kai. But William Zabka shows up in this, playing basically the same guy.
Okay.
The blonde bad guy who's
Yeah.
a bully to everyone. Sam Kinison in his first theatrical role as the...
Was it?
Yeah, as the teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went to Nam.
Yeah, with Nam, the history teacher, and he's got just a scene-stealing moment. And then Paxton Whitehead, Paxton Whitehead is one of my favorite '80s kind of sniveling bad guys. He plays the other literature professor who has it for Sally Kellerman, and he is always just a dirtbag in every movie I see him in. Like, you need generic sniveling white guy. This is Paxton Whitehead's your man.
And don't forget Oingo Boingo.
Oh, Oingo Boingo was a great.
Oh, that was a great song.
I love that. That song is actually, it's been on my iPod for years and years.
Yeah.
It's a dead man's party. Who could ask for more?
It's a great all year round, but you have to listen again around Halloween. This movie actually hits everything that we were talking about that Melissa McCarthy's movie had, except for this one has an angry Dean.
That it does. I tell you what, I've watched this movie several times, but it's been a few years since I watched it. I was kind of afraid to rewatch it because a lot of times these movies don't hold up.
Yeah.
And I actually was surprised. I thought this one held up.
Yeah.
This one wasn't. I thought there's going to be some offensive moments in here. It's Rodney being Rodney.
Yeah.
And some of Rodney's stuff doesn't hold up, you know?
No.
This one was fun. It's funny. You're in there. I mean, he's Rodney Dangerfield, master diver. Why not?
Why not?
The king of the triple Lindy.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Back to School?
I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
Again, had the same thoughts. There's a lot of movies that I used to love from the 80s, and looking back at them, I go, oh, they're fantastic, and then I rewatch it. Like Goonies is a good one for me as an example. Spawn, I for some reason remembered as a great movie.
And sometimes, if I think that's coming on, I'm hesitant. Like, I just want to keep it a good place in my heart.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be exposed to the cold light of day and be like, oh, that movie's not good.
I do that with concerts sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a band that I love from the 80s and 90s, and I refuse to go see them because I want to remember them as great, not as...
It's true. And not everything holds up.
No,
I've
it
found that
doesn't.
with many things. But Yeah, it's just fun. It's just funny, and it's got a really great cast. Just a young Robert Downey Jr. I love when he was this was when he was on Saturday Night Live. He's filming this in between seasons or before Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was terrible on Saturday Night Live, by the way.
Was he?
Probably the worst season of SNL ever. You could ask our station manager, Jeff Robbins, but yeah.
It's crazy that he's Iron Man now. He looked like such a baby back then.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. He was great.
Now
Good
he's
stuff.
Iron Man.
Back to School, 1986. Worth checking out if you haven't seen it in a while. Don't be afraid.
If you've never seen it, definitely you have to see it because you live probably in the Madison area.
Well, maybe
and
not. We've got many people that watch us.
And if you aren't in the Madison area,
Searsport, Maine is nowhere near.
No, it's not. But if you want to find out where we live and what it's like, it's nothing like
I'll give
this.
you Mike's
It's
address.
actually
Just
not.
email me. I'll give you Mike's address. All right, let's take a
Crash on my couch.
quick look ahead at what is going to be coming out the weekend of May 25th. We're looking at one big movie coming out that weekend. It is Solo, a Star Wars story.
You don't say.
I do, though.
Yeah, but you shouldn't.
Avengers, Infinity
No
War.
one wants to hear the colon.
Everyone loves a good colon.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, another Star Wars story. We had Rogue One a couple years ago as a Star Wars story. This is another side story on its own. Alden Ehrenreich as the young Han Solo. Donald Glover as the young Lando. I'm excited for this. We get to see the Millennium Falcon before it all got altered and changed.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it. There's a clip on the internets right now where they superimpose Harrison Ford's face. Check that out if you have internet or electricity.
I'm hoping this is good. And they've already announced that they're doing more Han Solo, Lando type things. Well, they've signed Alden Ehrenreich on for 3 more movies in the Star Wars universe. So conceivably they're going to continue telling young Han Solo. Maybe a young Boba Fett, maybe a young Lando movie.
Yeah.
Maybe a young Jabba the Hutt movie.
Well, Christian Glover.
Donald Glover?
Donald Glover, sorry.
Oh, if only Crispin Glover would be in this.
Sorry about that.
Take your hands off her.
It would be a bad idea if they let him go.
Yeah.
They keep a hold of that guy because he's awesome.
All right, so that is the movie that is coming out the weekend of May 25th. Before we leave you, we have to thank our sponsor, The Palace here in Sun Prairie Marcus Cinema. Thank you for sponsoring our program. We do appreciate that. We love sitting in a beautiful Dream Lounger. If you want to find more from us online, Mike's talking about this internet stuff. I hear we're on it.
Yeah, we are. We're on, I believe we're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah.
We have our little spot here on the KSUN website.
Go to sunprairiemediacenter.com. There's an on-demand player. You can find all these episodes.
And if you don't have the internet, all you need to do is get an FM radio, and you can tune in to us on the radio and hear our beautiful voices.
103.5 The Sun.
Yeah.
Locally. Absolutely. You can do all of those things. So next week, we got 3 movies that we're going to be reviewing. The first one is Show Dogs. I know you're excited about that one.
Not it.
The next one is Book Club.
I'm seeing that tonight.
Yeah, a bunch of horny old ladies going after it. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And then the last one, a little movie called Deadpool 2.
Never heard
no
of it.
colon to this one.
Never heard of it.
Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this one. I'm hoping it's good.
Stop saying colon.
Josh Brolin. I'm really enjoying Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
I've been watching clips of him and Ryan Reynolds out on their publicity tour.
Yeah.
I love Josh Brolin.
Personally, anything that has Terry Crews in, I'm pretty interested in.
Yeah?
I was going to be interested in Deadpool anyhow, but I am excited to see Terry Crews doing something. I haven't seen him do something in a while.
Oh, he's on the whatchamacallit show, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, which
Has
I
been
hear
canceled and brought back to life.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
I like that. I enjoy that show. It's a good program too.
Yeah. We watch a lot of things.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. So anyways, find us online, Real Reviews TV. Anywhere you look, we'll be there. Next week, we're going to be talking about all these fun movies. But until that time, I'm Jamison.
I'm Mike Roth.
Thanks for watching.